Hello, NBA fans. Daily news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a fan of the Lakers show and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and give it a like. The Lakers are in a rush to win the championship, and the season is about to start. 4 players' days are numbered and they will be traded. Unless one of them is performing at a high level, Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Knecht, and Jackson Hayes will likely be traded, as the Lakers want to sign 1 or 2 defensively strong forwards, giving Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves more freedom. This quartet's time in LA could be over before they know it. Jared Vanderbilt. Similar to Gabe Vincent's deal, this is another contract that the Lakers signed in the last 2 years that aged extremely poorly. 6 months after acquiring him at the 2023 trade deadline as part of the Russell Westbrook deal, the Lakers gave Jared Vanderbilt a 4-year, $48 million extension. Since then, Vanderbilt has only played in 65 games in 2 seasons. He remains an impactful and versatile defender who can guard multiple positions and make plays on that end of the floor. Everything else, however, is a work in progress. Since he is already 26 years old and his offensive game has shown very little improvement since arriving in the league, it's hard to imagine Vanderbilt becoming a meaningfully different player next season. What complicates matters for the Lakers is that Vanderbilt is under contract for another season after this one and has a player option worth $13.2 million for the 2027-27 season. That may make him difficult to trade, but Lakers fans can rest assured that General Manager Rob Pelinka will be making some calls throughout the season. Brown? FTF. The Los Angeles Lakers kicked off their training camp this week and are preparing for their first preseason game against the Phoenix Suns on Friday. With the start of the regular season only 3 weeks away, October will provide an opportunity for a few veterans to earn head coach J.J. Redick's trust and carve out a consistent role in the rotation. Until they do that, however, the following names remain on thin ice. Gabe Vincent. The Lakers displayed their desire to upgrade Gabe Vincent's role when they brought in Marcus Smart. The defense-first off-ball guard next to Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic's role will be very important for the Lakers as they need as much perimeter defense as they can get surrounding their stars. This player also has to knock down enough shots to keep defenses honest. That is where Vincent has failed since joining the Lakers 2 seasons ago. While he has been a solid option as a point-of-attack defender, he hasn't been a reliable shooter. As a Laker, he has only made 33.2% of his three-pointers, and since he doesn't do much else on the offensive end, that is not good enough to earn consistent minutes. Vincent is entering the final year of the 3-year, $33 million deal he signed in the 2023 offseason. The expiring nature of his contract could make him a solid trade chip at the deadline, unless he can prove himself to be a solid 3-and-D option to begin the season. Jackson Hayes. One of the more surprising decisions the Lakers front office made this summer was re-signing Jackson Hayes. The 25-year-old center had to play a large role for LA last season after the team was left without any quality big men following the trade deadline. Yet, he failed in this role so miserably that head coach J.J. Redick preferred to play 40-plus minutes a game without a center in the playoffs. This year, Hayes will have a much smaller role as DeAndre Ayton's backup. His playing time will likely go down from the 19.5 minutes per game he played last season, but he has to show a lot more to earn a consistent role. Redick has shown time and again that he doesn't mind playing small for extended minutes. If Hayes is struggling with defensive intensity, effort, and physicality like he usually does, he could be out the door sooner rather than later. Dalton Knecht. Has anyone been on thinner ice than Dalton Knecht is with the Lakers? The team already tried to trade him at last year's deadline before it was rescinded when Mark Williams failed his physical with the Lakers. It's not hard to imagine that the front office is still trying to move their recent first-round pick. With the addition of Doncic, Knecht's prospects in Los Angeles are not looking promising. The Lakers already have enough defensive liabilities in their backcourt, and they must surround them with as much defense and athleticism as possible. Knecht obviously doesn't fit that bill, and he didn't shoot at a high enough level as a rookie to make up for all the weaknesses in his game. The Lakers must hope that his trade value hasn't tanked to untradeable levels. If there is a rebuilding team willing to take a chance on the already 24-year-old shooting guard, the Lakers should and will listen to any offers. Los Angeles Lakers signed possible Bronny James replacement. The Los Angeles Lakers are in win-now mode. In an effort to bolster the lineup around Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, stepping on some toes is inevitable. Before trading for Doncic, doing anything to upset James would have been inconceivable to the Lakers. Now that the future of the franchise is not tied to LeBron, the Lakers can have a bit of leeway. If Bronny James does not thrive in his defensive specialist role, the Lakers signed Nick Smith Jr. to a two-way deal, and he could quickly replace Bronny as an end-of-the-bench option. Nick Smith Jr. could replace Bronny James. In his 2 seasons with the Charlotte Hornets, Nick Smith Jr. averaged 8 points, 1.8 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game. He shot 39.1% from the floor and a solid 36.9% from deep. After not much improvement between his first and second seasons, the Hornets waived Smith Jr., lining up his new two-way deal with the Lakers. Between Doncic, Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart, Gabe Vincent, and Bronny James, Smith Jr. has an uphill battle ahead of him for playing time in a crowded backcourt. However, his willingness to play off-ball and potential as a shooting threat make him impossible to ignore. He's someone who shot 43% on 3 as a rookie, pointed out Lakers insider Jovan Buha on an October 1 episode of Buha's Block. Buha explained how Bronny's chance of cracking the rotation hinges on him being a better defender than Smart. However, if Smith Jr. can be serviceable on that end and return to being an above-average, he shot 39% from deep, not 43%, shooter, there will be minutes for him. Especially comparing him to Bronny and Gabe Vincent, he is far behind those two guys defensively, said Buha of Smith Jr. But I think the offensive end, he might be the most gifted shot creator and scorer of those three. And if he can figure out ways to play off the ball and be a reliable catch and shoot spot-up threat, maybe a guy who can attack closeouts on the weak side and whatnot, that could be a pathway to him getting minutes at some point or in some lineup. Lakers could benefit from playing both guards. Marcus Smart is 31 years old. Gabe Vincent is 29. Neither of them is a long-term piece in Hollywood. As the Lakers look to build around Doncic and perhaps Reeves, surrounding them with specialists will be a priority. If Smith Jr. can emerge as a knockdown shooter, there will be a spot for him on the roster moving forward. If Bronny James can be an elite defender in bursts, he could have a real NBA career. Marcus Smart thought his agent was joking that Luka Doncic was recruiting him to Lakers. Marcus Smart couldn't believe that Luka Doncic would be recruiting him to join the Lakers. There are many ways to build an NBA roster, but one approach that has become increasingly important is having players participate in a recruiting pitch for free agents. Stars matter always in all ways, and when role players are considering a new place to call home, a call from the most important player on a team could make all the difference. For the Lakers, that star is Luka Doncic. Here, during the early parts of his tenure in Los Angeles, he's shown that he's willing to reach out to his peers and encourage them to join him in Southern California. It was reported that Luka's involvement in the recruitment of Marcus Smart led to the veteran choosing the Lakers over the Suns. On Media Day, Smart provided another nugget into those conversations. He said that he couldn't believe Luka wanted him with the Lakers. So much so that when his agent told him Luka called, he thought it was a prank. "I'm ecstatic, man," Smart said in an interview with ESPN LA. "I'm excited. When my agent told me Luka called him and was very interested, I didn't believe him at first. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, you're joking. I'm a jokester, so you probably get me back for something." And he's like, "No, I'm serious. We really need to sit down and we need to talk. This is going to happen. This is real." And I'm like, oh wow. But having Luka have that ability to say, "I want this guy here," being able to play against him for as long as I did, I'm finally glad to be on his side. It's hilarious to think that Smart's agent had to convince him they were having a serious conversation and this was not some kind of cruel joke. It's a sign that Luka is highly regarded around the league, so much so that Smart didn't think he'd bother picking up the phone to advocate for him. Obviously, Luka does like Smart's game and is one of the many Lakers players thrilled to no longer have to deal with him as a defender. Thanks to Luka's efforts, the Lakers just might have picked up their next great defender. If Luka is willing to do a little roster recruitment work and it tips the 50-50 situations in favor of the Lakers, then that's another advantage the organization can have in the margins. Everyone wants to feel wanted, and free agents are no different. With Luka on the phone, he can help make sure they pick LA over other cities. As long as they believe it's actually him on the other side of the phone. Jake LaRavia discusses role after conversations with J.J. Redick. Of the free agents the Los Angeles Lakers brought in this offseason, the most unknown is wing Jake LaRavia. A former first-round pick in 2022, LaRavia has shown flashes of his potential during his time with the Memphis Grizzlies and Sacramento Kings, but has yet to put it all together. Now with the Lakers, LaRavia has the perfect opportunity to carve out a real role as a two-way wing. Addressing this team's perimeter defense this offseason was a priority for the Lakers front office, and LaRavia fits that mold perfectly while also being a career 37.1% three-point shooter. As far as his role on this Lakers team, LaRavia discussed what head coach J.J. Redick has laid out for him. "It's been really good since I've got here. We've had a lot of good conversations, me and J.J., LaRavia said at Lakers Media Day. About my role, he kind of just told me to be myself out there, that he's not gonna specify one or two things, or three things that he wants me to do and to go out there and just do that. He wants me to be a basketball player, be who I am when I'm out there. He knows how hard I play. He knows that I make winning plays, that I make the right play. I can be a connector out there as well. Obviously bringing shooting and defense to the team. He just wants me to go out there and be free. Be a basketball player at the end of the day and go out there and hoop." Redick is surely looking to make LaRavia as comfortable as possible in his first season with the Lakers and thus is simply empowering him to play his game and do things the right way. And the wing believes what he does fits perfectly next to the Lakers stars. "I think I can complement Austin, Reeves, Luka, Doncic, and LeBron James very well and how they play," LaRavia added. "Just providing the spacing on the offensive side and defensively just being able to take some pressure off them by guarding the opposing team's better wing player. And then also just, like I said about playing hard and making the winning plays and getting on the ground. You guys will all see soon enough how I play October 21st when the season starts. But I just go out there and I try and win every night and I try and impact winning, and obviously that's what the Lakers organization is about, so I'm excited to put on a show." The opportunity will undoubtedly be there for LaRavia to show what he can do on the big stage the Lakers provide. If he can show the ability to defend at a high level while also knocking down open threes, it will be impossible for Redick to keep him off the court. Bronny James has quietly become the Lakers' most important player this preseason. Los Angeles Lakers guard Bronny James needs to prove himself this preseason, especially as a defender. Bronny James is the most important player to watch on the Los Angeles Lakers this training camp and preseason, as he needs to develop into a staunch defender if he wants to earn legitimate playing time this year. On the Athletic NBA Daily podcast, Dave Dufour discussed James' potential role as a defender, expressing his confidence in the point guard's ability to make an impact on that end of the floor. "I think he can play," Dufour said. "I don't know if he can be in your regular rotation. But I think he can play. The offense is still a little rough, but defensively, I actually think that he has a real chance to be a very good defensive player. Training camp and the preseason will be James' best chance to show off what he can do." What does Bronny James need to do? James didn't play much last year. And he didn't earn much playing time in the G League either. He got some run at Summer League in Vegas, but he needs to play real minutes on a consistent basis if he wants to significantly improve. That's where the preseason could come into play. Depending on how many minutes the regular guys get, it might be James' best opportunity to show off his skills on both ends of the court. As J.J. Redick looks to complete his rotation throughout the course of training camp, James will need to show out. The Lakers may not have the deepest roster, but James is only going to be a sophomore in the NBA, and they do have some vets at the guard position. For all his faults, Gabe Vincent is still a tough defender and can get hot from behind the three-point line. LA also signed Marcus Smart in free agency, and though he's dealing with an injury right now, he'll certainly be able to make an impact on the defensive side of the ball. That's his specialty. At the same time, having those two guys on the roster should provide James with a perfect chance to learn about defense at the NBA level. The Lakers couldn't have picked a better defensive mentor for James than Smart, who won the Defensive Player of the Year award as a guard in 2022. Add in Vincent, whom James has already formed a relationship with, and James should gain some very valuable insight this year. James is still only 20 years old. He has plenty of time to grow. DeAndre Ayton says LA Lakers player is the face of the league, he's excited to play alongside him. With the debate ongoing about the face of the league, DeAndre Ayton is confident the LA Lakers have the biggest star. The NBA is in an interesting place right now, highlighted by the aging stars who won gold for USA at the 2024 Olympics. LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and Kevin Durant led the team to gold, and while all three are returning for another NBA season in 2025-26, there are questions over what comes next. The trio are the most recognizable stars in the NBA, with LeBron James in particular becoming regarded as the face of the league, a status once associated with Kobe Bryant and before him, Michael Jordan. Luka Doncic is the face of the league. New LA Lakers signing DeAndre Ayton is thrilled to be a part of the team after signing as a free agent in the offseason. Ayton secured a buyout with the Portland Trail Blazers, and has given his career a shot in the arm by teaming up with Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Ayton spoke at Lakers Media Day and was asked about Luka Doncic, a player he has a long history with, both as high picks in the 2018 NBA draft, and in previous playoff battles, when representing the Mavericks and the Suns. Seeing him, how he developed as a true player into where he finally kicked my tail in the Game 7. Him just finally getting out and show that he really controlled the league, and he's the face of the league, it's something to see, because he came on my class as well, and now I'm here with him. Now we're just here to really add on to this legacy of this organization. Ayton excited for new chance. DeAndre Ayton says he has been working hard in the offseason to prepare to make the most of his new chance with the LA Lakers. He says he is a wounded player after the criticism he has endured and wants to prove people wrong. I'm really just sharpening my tools, I was just working on my endurance and really having the mindset of competing every night. That was a thing people probably say about me, and I can hear it. But this is a wounded Ayton where I've embraced all of it. I'm on a platform where I know I want to be and I want to show everybody I'm still here and ready to compete. Austin Reeves reveals what it was like seeing Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton train together for first time. The Los Angeles Lakers have officially kicked off their new era during NBA training camp. Following a busy offseason, NBA training camp is finally here, and the Los Angeles Lakers are undoubtedly one of the most talked about teams in the league. After all, the Lakers managed to finally sign a true center in DeAndre Ayton. With Luka Doncic on the roster, many expect Ayton to form a terrific duo for the Lakers. Speaking of the two stars, Lakers' Austin Reeves recently shared his first impressions of seeing the dynamic duo on the hardwood. Austin Reeves' honest thoughts on Luka Doncic playing with DeAndre Ayton. Being a former number 1 overall pick, Ayton undoubtedly has the potential to become a dominating player for the purple and gold. However, it's only natural that Ayton will take time before becoming used to head coach J.J. Redick's tactics, especially those that involve sharing the court with Doncic. With that said, Reeves did mention that Ayton looked good during his first practice with Doncic. This is first time I've seen him and Luka play. Luka passes the ball so well that he needs to expect open lobs, open floaters, things around the paint, but it looked good, Reeves told the media.